Hello, hello, hello. Now, it's the afternoon and we have some more details on Kelsey Berreth's co-workers. They describe her as quiet, sweet, loving to her newborn. Multiple people who worked with Kelsey Berreth before she disappeared from Woodland Park in November 2018 described her as private, kind, and very loving towards her 1-year-old daughter. This contradicts what other witnesses claim Patrick Frazee, her fiancé, who accused of killing her, told them. One of the co-workers testified that Kelsey told her Frazee wasn't treating her well at one point. Also, the CBI forensic scientist who worked on the case testified about the blood inside her home. So they're on the stand again, which they were on and off on the stand. And, Frazee's friends, they brought to testify that the prosecution also brought forward one of Frazee's friends who testified that Frazee said Kelsey had given him custody of their daughter. A handful of authorities who were involved in this investigation, including 2 experts who have already testified, and like I said, the forensic and things like that. And they testified about the apparent tooth fragment belonging to a human. Before lunch, like I said earlier in my video, that the judge said the judge, like I said, is because the case is going so well that closing arguments could start Friday afternoon. He noted they are far ahead in the trial process. The judge gave Frazee a courtesy advisor that he has the right to testify, and he replied, "Yes, sir." Yes, sir. Is that the first words he's ever spoken? Well, that's what he said. Yes, sir. He said the judge said the prosecutors can cross-examine him and the jury can ask him questions. So he has been read his rights and stuff like that, and he making sure that he understands this before he gets on the stand. If he does, he also has the right to remain silent, the judge says. It's not yet clear if Patrick will testify or not. Now, we're not going to know until, he has to do it before closing arguments. So if they are expected to, Friday, expected to do closing arguments, then he will have to testify tomorrow maybe. So he's telling him, so he has probably today to think about it, the rest of the today. And tomorrow they will have to notify the courts whether he is going to testify, because they are going to wait till the very, very last second. It seems that way. We'll see. So, but I don't think he's got any other choice but to get on the stand, because then again, it's not going to matter, I don't think, but he has that right, and he should get up there and speak, because what can he say? he can lie some more. He can lie some more. And then we too can see how his thinking process was. You know, he'll probably tell us all about his childhood and how bad it was, and he was never loved, and you know, or stuff like that. I don't know what he will say. He'll say that I never did it. She came to me. She did this. She told me this. This was the plan. I went and cleaned up. I mean, I don't know what he's going to say, but I don't think he can get out of this one. He can't get out of it. So he's doomed. So, but anyway, he's innocent until proven guilty. Yes, guys. You know, you had to say that because it's the law. And we all know what he's accused of. And you know, there's several charges, lots of charges that he's been charged in, and one of them has got to stick, and many of them are life in prison, just about, maybe with parole, maybe without parole. I mean, there's several options that the jury can take and decide what they're going to do. And these are the charges. He faces 8 charges, includes first-degree murder, tampering with a deceased body, and solicitation. And he pleaded not guilty to all the charges that he is accused of. And we all know Kenny took a plea deal, tampering, and agreed to testify against Frazee. And you know what deal she got. And you know, the prosecutors decided in July not to file the motion to pursue the capital punishment, meaning Frazee will not face the death penalty in this case if he's found guilty. So we know that. So that's a little update on this part. Also, the defense says they expect to call 1 witness on Friday. That will be in the morning, probably, sometime in the morning. And they say this is not uncommon in trials. The burden of proof lies on the prosecution. And they also say that Frazee has until Friday to decide if he is going to take the stand or not. So he has till Friday, guys. That's what it says. He has till Friday. Also, who testified but was not happy to do so, former lover and clients discuss Frazee's character. A former lover and client of Frazee's told the court she remembers him, remarking that Teller County is a vast area where it would be easy to put a body on a horse and get rid of somebody. Put a body on a horse and get rid of somebody. Someone. Kayla is her name, and she did not appear happy to be in court to testify. No, she wouldn't. I was wondering if they're going to put any ex-lovers on the stand for him or against him. I don't know. It doesn't seem anybody's for him. Pooh, what a shame. Anyway, she told the court Frazee did work on her horses a few years ago before she was in a sexual relationship with him and ended abruptly. Her testimony was first delivered without the jury present as the judge and attorneys went over the relevance of what she has to say. You know, that's how they are. And prosecutors called Savannah, they called and Catherine to testify about statements Frazee made about his personal life. Both women hired him to care for their horses. Savannah says she doesn't remember Frazee saying a lot about Kaylee's mother, that is Kelsey, only that he was trying to get full custody, and that Kaylee's mother was bipolar and in a rehab. Remember he said that? They testified the other day. And then Savannah says he mentioned Kelsey by name, but not often. At the time, she says Frazee said custody was mutual and he was looking into getting a lawyer. He's such a liar. Such a liar. Well, he might have been trying to get custody, but all for the wrong reasons. Selfish. And then the other lady, Catherine, says Frazee began showing up to work with his daughter. She remembers he never had anything good to say about Kelsey. We don't discuss her a lot, but he would never say anything kind about her. And then they go on to say, Catherine called in a tip in this case. She called in a tip in this case. So, saying Frazee claimed Kelsey took off shortly after the daughter was born. Kelsey took off shortly after the daughter was born. She took off, never to be seen again. Oh, she took off again. When did that happen? I don't think so. She says he described the mother as absolutely crazy. Yeah, he's describing himself, because unless he's driving her crazy. And then she goes on to say she probably saw Kaylee probably about 4 to 5 times. She saw nothing to show abuse towards Kaylee, and the girl was always happy. Yeah, the girl was all happy because she was treated well. And then it just goes on, like I said, Lori Luce, she testified, and she says she first learned Frazee was a father when she a baby in a truck. Well, when she saw a baby in a truck, I suppose that's supposed to be, while he was at the property. And in discussing the baby, Lou said, Frazee said his daughter's mother didn't want to be a mother. She didn't want to be a mother. And so he'd have to be a parent moving forward. And this was in around February, April in 2018. So little bits are coming out here and there. Lou said she remembers Frazee going to her house on December the 20th, 19, after Kelsey went missing. And his ranch had been searched. She said they talked about November the 22nd on Thanksgiving Day, and Frazee told her he went to Kelsey's house to pick up Kaylee before running errands. He told Luce he also gave Kelsey her gun back, and he had taken it away from her when she threatened suicide. Oh yeah. And Luce said he told her that Kelsey agreed to sell the gun. He wasn't getting a good enough price and just gave it back. What the hell? He's such a liar. Here's a gun. Lou said that Frazee talked about a couple of scenarios of what might have happened to Kelsey. He told Luce she had a lot of pilot friends, and so maybe she flew away. She flew away. That was looked into because they had to. And last year, when this first hit the news, that they checked all the planes and everything like that, and no planes were missing. So she didn't fly away, unless she grew wings or something. He says she maybe got mixed up with the wrong crowd in Pueblo. because that's where she wanted to move to. She wanted to move out of the house and move closer to her job. She also Luz asked about the ping in Idaho. She said he didn't answer. Luz told him, admitting she's guessing that maybe Kelsey tried going home and committed suicide. Luz says maybe she's coming back. Oh, she's never coming back, Frazee said. She's never coming back, Frazee said. And Luz didn't tell the story initially, but guarantees Patrick Frazee said that. She said that. That's what he said. She said she didn't bring that forward until a couple of weeks ago to the DEA's office because she didn't want to get involved. See, these people that don't want to get involved, But that's the problem. You don't want to get involved because you're all ranchers, you live around the neighborhood, you don't want to be wrong. What if he never did it? What if he gets out? All these thoughts go, they don't want to be next, you know what I mean? They're probably a bit scared what might happen to them. They might disappear for the good and off the face of the earth. But she was subpoenaed a few weeks ago. She was subpoenaed, and that's when she felt the need to bring it all forward. So she was subpoenaed and probably felt safe, and she had to tell what she knew. It's the only right thing to do. Luz recalls sometime between August and October 2018 when Frazee told her he wanted to raise his daughter with somebody else. Luz asked him if he was getting any child support, and she says Frazee said he wanted Kelsey to help with medical expenses, not referring to her name. Later, she says Frazee said, I wanted to help with medical expenses before. Now, I just want her gone. I just want her gone. Hey. And the state calls an arson investigator, and that's Chief Adams. And we went through that. We went through that earlier in the video, that the investigators conducted a thorough search, and the fire department and all that were involved with the burn areas and how possibly the fire started, and all that kind of stuff. So, and the investigators looked through the floorboards, evidence, blood stains, and all kinds of things like that. And we talked about the Frazee's friend discussed the alibi, obtaining a trip, when he went around Woodland Park to the bank, to the store. I don't know about Walmart, Safeway, or whatever he was doing, riding around, joyriding with his stepdad, or whatever he is, because that's what he said. He considers him his son, his father-like figure. And then the Twin Falls, Idaho detectives, and they searched the property of KK's ranch in Idaho. And the FBI talks about the gun belongs to Kelsey. Special Agent Rodney Draper, who worked out of boss office, said he called for help for the law enforcement to conduct the investigation on December the 15th or 16th of December 2018, and conducted interviews and search of the home of KK's home and phone. And that's when he did an interview, Chad Lee, her ex-husband of KK, and told him that he told him that she got a new phone, and that was only a few weeks old. Well, yeah, she got a new phone, and maybe that was to stop Patrick Frazee calling her, I guess. Do you know what I mean? or whatever reason. Could be a number of reasons, couldn't it? And when asked about December the 21st, Draper said he learned a gun was provided to Mark Pearson. And that's where the gun provided by Mark Pearson. The two met in the parking lot. And that's where the gun could be collected. And from there they transferred it to Denver office to be tested to determine the owner and to see if it had been shot or anything like that. So they took custody of that phone. And Megan testified about the friend in Idaho, about the car being exchanged in Walmart parking lot, and then she used her friend's car to drive down to Woodland Park and clean up the scene, and we all know that. And that was just basically, we're just quickly going through that part again. And prosecutors also called Darlene Bird, a former co-worker, another former co-worker of KK, Crystal Kenny Lee or Lee Kenny from the hospital. And then we all know that story. She got in a bad situation. She had to do what she had to do because her life was in danger, and her kids were in danger. But it seems like Patrick Frazee didn't even say anything about doing anything to her husband. He just said that, her husband Chad could quite easily take care of the kids. Yeah, while you go missing in the playground. Yeah, okay. And until this day, Kelsey Berreth's remains have never been found, or whereabouts, location, anything like that. I think maybe one day like any other time, somebody might come across something. I doubt it. It does not look like that would be true, but they might find a tooth or something. Who knows? And that's how that's kind of gone on. So there'll be more reports later on the case as it comes out, as we can find out what's going on around this trial. Money problems. There's money problems. The court heard a handful of police officers, special agents, and Frazee's brother. We've all, and the money problems, and the child support. But he was paying child support. But according to one of his friends that he worked for, he had sole custody, and they asked why isn't she paying child support, and and he never did say how much child support or money that Kelsey gives him for taking care of the children, the child that she abandoned and given to you. This town is not that big, yet nobody knows nobody. And do you know what I mean? And of course, Kelsey never hung around with his friends or anything, and stuff like that. That's probably why nothing gets, a code of honor. They're not going to go around and say, hey, you know what, your man, your boyfriend, look, he's talking really bad about you, and this is what he's saying. Nobody said that to her. And then, that's how it's been this week with the with all the people testifying. And Clint, her brother was the one that went with his mother Cheryl to the house and was going to stay there while this case was going on, the missing case at the time when it was first reported. But they well looked into the house after the investigators had been in and took pictures of the home. and let it go again, so Cheryl and her brother could stay there. And then they didn't see the blood right away, but then they started noticing things, and that's when they were told to leave the home, and more investigators had to come in and search again, and now it's a crime scene. It's a crime scene, and that was the beginning of the end. And here we are today. And of course, the defense is arguing that their client did not do the killing, and they're trying to put the blame on KK. And well, of course, she was involved. She's very much involved. We know that. But it's not. I don't think it's a she done it this time. It's she's got plenty of people backing her butt up.